Is it called stalking when you try to catch your partner, your lover, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your partner? Is it called stalking when you're trying to catch them cheating? Hi, my name is Dr. Natalie Jones, and I've worked for many years in the mental health field as a licensed mental health professional. And I want to answer this question, or I want to respond to this statement, and I'm going to use this statement as a response. I've been called a stalker for trying to catch my boyfriend cheating. And there's a lot of people that feel like it's not stalking if I'm trying to catch someone cheating, or if I'm just, checking in on an ex to see what they're up to. And it is. When you're surveilling someone, it is stalking. When you're trying to infringe upon their privacy, it is stalking. Even if you feel like, I don't trust them, or maybe there's some injustice that they're doing to me, this is the type of thinking and rationale that people use to justify it to themselves. Like, I deserve to know, if they're cheating on me. I have a right to invade upon someone else's privacy, to see what they're doing. And the reality is, you do not. You do not have that right to check up on somebody. I understand why people do it, and I'm not saying that you're a bad person for doing it, but you don't have the right to infringe upon anyone's privacy, is what I'm saying. Especially when you're kind of checking their social media, you're going through their phone, what do you call that? When you're tracking them, you're monitoring the location and things like that. And I'll be honest with you, and I'm not a jealous person. I never have been, but I'll be honest with you. I'm the type of person that I believe, and you can ask any one of my clients this, not that you guys are going to know, but I tell my clients this all the time. If you have any sort of twinge in your gut, if you have any sort of feelings of distrust, so much so that you have to compromise your quality of life, like you have to turn into an FBI detective or an investigator, and we've got a lot of investigators on TikTok, right? We've got a lot of, and you guys are very skilled at what you do. There's nothing that TikTok viewers won't find out. I've seen that with my own eyes. But if you have to turn into an investigator, if you have to turn into, if you're constantly snooping, I'm the type of person that says, is it really worth it? Even if it's like your own trauma, like, cause sometimes it could just be your own trauma of like, I don't trust anybody, this and that. Or it could be legit, like, my person's starting to move funny, or they're acting a little different, or they're, they smell a little different, or they're coming home late, or they're not really responding to me. I'm the type of person that if this is a behavior that affects you like that, maybe it's just time to move on. I don't like the feeling of not being respected or valued in the relationship. And honestly, I don't want to have to monitor a grown person. I don't think you should have to monitor a grown person. I don't think you should have to play detective for that. I feel I'm the type of person that I feel you should always feel safe and secure and be able to trust a person, or at least not have to worry about it without this sort of monitoring and surveillance of what they're doing. Where you got to pop up, you got to do this and do that. And sometimes it can be the person that you're with. Sometimes people, again, and you guys go back to my post about attention, there are people who like attention and will create all of these things where they want to make sure that you're always paying attention to them, or they may have one foot in and one foot out of the relationship. If you feel like you deserve better than my advice, which you didn't ask for, but I'm going to give it to people that may be watching and who identify with you. My advice would be to know your worth and stop putting up with bullshit. Just stop putting up with it and have a no nonsense type of attitude about it. And honestly, I feel like here's what I believe. I believe if more people had a no nonsense and stop putting up with stuff, and just walked away at the first sign of disrespect, I believe that can nix cheating altogether, because once people know that there's going to be some serious consequences for their behaviors, you're cutting off, you're walking away, despite whatever it is you guys have, whether it be children, finances, or whatever. When people know that you have a no-nonsense attitude about things, and you're going to walk away at the first sign of disrespect, and there's nothing that they can say or they can do, they're not going to play in your face. And trust and believe, I'm almost 46, so I've had guys play in my face over the years, way back when. But now it's like, if I feel the first sign of disrespect, and I don't care if we've been together for a day, if we've been together for a month, or if we've been together for 25 years, that first sign of disrespect, I'm gone, because I promise you, the very red flag that you ignore will be the very same one that comes back to bite you in the butt at the end, and you'll wish that you would have paid attention to it. Back when y'all first started dating, whether it's inconsistency, whether it's they're too busy, whether it's that they are very egotistical and they feel like the sun, moon, and stars revolves around them, whether they have a reputation of being a playboy, a playgirl, whatever you want to call it. All these things that are red flags. And I honestly think, as people, there are so many more important things that we need to be paying attention to. At least I feel that way for me. There's so many more important things that I want to pay attention to than whether or not someone's running around. I also don't play with my health and things like that now. So I don't engage with people who play with their health or think it's funny to play with someone else's. Like, I don't have friends who are cheaters. Like, once someone tells me that they're a cheater, they're not a friend. They're actually not even a family member. They're kind of at a distant acquaintance, and that's kind of good, because that's how much I value honesty and integrity in my relationships. So once people start moving funny, I'm gone, and it could be friend, family, or foe. I'm okay with that, but you got to stand on business in order to be respected, because even if you stalk, a person that's committed to lying and playing in your face, they're not going to stop, because they're still not going to be, they don't view it as a consequence, and they're used to it, and they already know that you're giving up part of your autonomy to even deal with it. Hope that helps.